All right. Welcome. Good evening and welcome to episode 15 of Astoria Story, brought to you by the Seven Spheres of Money and the Ramsburg International, DJ the Money Coach. I'm Nick, and of course, there's QueenAstoria. How you doing, Queen?
I'm here. I'm making it. It's Thursday. That's all I can say. It's Thursday.
Yep. Same here. Like you just said a few minutes ago before we went live, it's been a long, busy last few days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep. So, so since it's been a long few days, and you have another long day coming up, we're gonna get you in and out. Get you in and out. I need to get in and out too. I got a few more things to do tonight, then get ready to go on the Friday. So just like we usually do, we'll start things off talking about Money Mondays.
Is that me? Did it freeze up on us?
I think so. Let's see, give it a minute.
Let's see. Now it's three of us. I don't know what happened.
All right, I just took the other one out.
It froze for a second.
Yeah, I think it's still frozen too. I just took it off the stream. But
all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna lead off telling you right now I'm about to talk about this Mercury Retrograde and what's about to go down anyway. So I feel in Mercury Retrograde and technology communication, all the same thing, right? Okay. So we're gonna throw it out there. But you were saying, started off like we always do, is talk about Money Mondays, how's the week, that kind of thing. So Money Mondays, I had on Terrell Bilbo. We talked about cryptocurrency. So it was a really good conversation, not just about crypto, but we really talked about some really hard hit stuff that we talk about ourselves among Seven Spheres of Money and DJ the Money Coach, just the financial wealth gap and how we don't talk about money and things like that. So we really kind of dug into our stories, compared some things, and went from there. And it was a really good show. So I would definitely say check it out. You will enjoy it for sure. And you might buy you some crypto. Just saying.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So, very, very important conversations to have there. Of course, about our finances and of course about crypto, because we've been hearing for some years now about moving into a cashless society. And now it seems like even more real, now that crypto is a big thing. We saw the transfer from cash to credit cards and debit cards and just the whole idea of credit. And we also around the time that this whole pandemic thing started, we had the national coin shortage thing that was going on, quote unquote. So it looks like cashless society is becoming even more real, as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, we've been living in a cashless society. We just haven't been accepting it. That's the truth. Like, I know 2 years ago, me and my friend went to the Rooftop Movie Cinema here in Houston, and she's a cash girl all day, every day, right? I'm a card girl. Well, I'm a card/cash girl, but I carry card because I like to keep up my transactions, right? And so we get up to the counter, and the guy was like, "Here's the sign. This is a cashless environment." And this was like, I know 2-3 years ago, when this place first opened. And she was like, "Well, let me just give you my cash, and then so you can pay for this." And so whether we want to accept it or not, we've been living in a cashless society. We literally get direct deposits into our account. So which is a crypto that goes into your account, right? With a certain amount of money, it's encrypted. And then we swipe, debit, whatever. We deposit checks online. I mean, we literally take pictures and do all of our banking online now. So we've been living in a cashless society. We just ain't been accepting it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cash is king. I don't know if that's absolutely true anymore.
That's real, because when you think about inflation, for example, you'll realize that the US dollar really ain't worth much. so when people talk about
what the paper is printed on.
Yeah, right. So when people talk about blockchain and crypto and how it's not backed by anything, or like how we know it's worth anything, it's like how we know that the dollar isn't worth much either. So
now, we can go all down the path right here, and we could talk about, Gaddafi and how, everything should be, backed by gold and those things like that. But we won't even go down that tangent because we'll be here all night. Okay.
Yeah.
But if people want to know who that is, go search Gaddafi. I can't think of his first name right now, but go research him.
Yeah. Muammar
Gaddafi. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. That is a whole conversation there, because even here in the US, how the verbiage on the dollar changed.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what year that was, but I think I learned about that in high school, about the verbiage on the dollar change from this reserve note now, and it used to be,
this note is a legal tender for all debts in public and private. That's what it changed to.
Okay, right. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you know me. I'm gonna have some dollars around.
Yeah.
Hope y'all can see that, but right there at the top.
Oh yeah.
Just say the reserve on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that part, and then also on the back, on the towards the bottom too, about the reserve. I think it said like a reserve note on there, and it used to say something else. That part changed too.
It's the gray seal now. I don't know what changed on the back part.
Yeah. It's a part. Yeah, it's a part that says I think it says like reserve note or something like that.
Man, let me go find my $2 bills that's old and stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna go there.
Yeah. But anyway, you're right about that. We have been, they've been conditioning us and getting us ready for it to be, full blown, to where even our, debit cards and our checks not based on cash anymore. So yeah. But you just mentioned a minute ago Mercury Retrograde, so is another one of those coming up soon?
Yeah, sorry, unfortunately. It's okay.
So when is that coming?
It actually starts January 30th and goes until February 20th.
Okay, so that's like next week or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you feel the pull of it 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. Just like when you think about moons and stuff like that, because it's a shorter period of time, you get a shorter, feeling of it. So let's just say there's a full moon, you normally feel it, the effects of it 3 days before and 3 days before. Just like when there's an eclipse or a solstice, 3 days before and 3 days after. But on the direct day is when you get, the full impact. So if anybody doesn't know anything about Mercury, Mercury rules Gemini. It is a very fast moving planet. And typically people are like, oh my God, I can't do anything during the retrograde. It's not true. It's just a time for you to evaluate, reassess, take time to slow down, take time to think about what's been previously happening in front of you. I know it scares people all the time. They're like, oh my God, it's a retrograde. Let me get my fluoride and my obsidian, so I can stay grounded and all that stuff. For me, it has become a happy time because I am a Gemini moon. So if you don't know your planetary chart, your sunshine is the day you were born. Your moon sign is the placement in which the moon was when you were born at that exact time. And you have like a rising and, a bunch of different planets. But your sun sign is who you show people. Your moon sign is who you really are on the inside. So that's who people are. That's who I am when people get to know me, is Gemini. I move really fast, Mercury, Gemini type of thing. So during this time, it's a really good time for me to just like chill. Mercury rules communication, technology, travel, those things. So when people see mishaps or like something kind of like falls through or whatever, it's typically due to retrograde energy. So you just have to pay closer attention, if that makes sense. Like pay close attention to what's happening. So like if you thought you sent a text message, check and make sure you press send on that thing, you know. And it's so crazy because I've been on Clubhouse lately. So last night I was in a room and we were talking about that. Well, the host was talking about it, about the retrograde, and I just told them about my experience as far as like it helps me. I know it scares a lot of people, but it's absolutely great time for me. I be ready for it. Like, come on, Mercury retrograde. I'ma chill for a whole month. Thank you and good night.
So a minute ago, you were talking about filling that poll during 2 weeks prior. So when you say the word pull, are you talking about those effects that you were just mentioning, like the affecting communication and things moving faster and all of that? So we start to feel those things now, and then
it intensifies.
And then they pick up once we hit you said the 30th, right? January 30th.
January 30th to February 20th.
So this is kind of like the build up, and then January 30th is like the peak, and then we kind of
just ride it out
until the 27th.
20th to the 20th.
20th, yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, Mercury goes pretty fast. Like it's one of those, it's a smaller planet, so it makes rotations a lot faster, which is why it retrogrades so many more times. And so here's the thing, like every planet retrogrades at some point, right? So Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet, right? We just came out of a retrograde last year. Like we were moving forward, and then we had this long drawn out retrograde period of time for us to think and get settled and kind of like get in our process, because it rules our sign. So it was like everything that's in that house, you got to think about it, readjust. And then as soon as it goes into its correct spin, right? Whether that's, I think they all go clockwise, right? So it was going counterclockwise and then it came back clockwise. It pushes forward everything that you're doing. So every planet does a retrograde. It's just Mercury has way more retrogrades in a year than any other planet does. Like Saturn only retrogrades every couple years or so. Like it doesn't retrograde. It's a big planet. Like that's a big pool. So when it does go backward, it's like, ooh. And it's pulling all the moons and all the other stuff that it got, all that stuff it got in its orbit.
Okay. All right. So I know you kind of spoke for yourself because of course you're most familiar with your planetary chart and how you conduct yourself or govern yourself during the retrograde. So is there like general tips for how people can handle or deal with the retrograde, that can apply to us universally, regardless of what our charts say?
Yep. Even though I said what resonates with me, really the same rules kind of apply. So pay attention. So if you have travel plans, like I know I'm traveling to Aruba next week, right? So pay attention, make sure all your T's, dots, whatever, T's crossed, I's dotted, all that stuff. Make sure everything is intact, how it needs to be, communication wise, right? Make sure if you say you sent something, double check, make sure that you really sent it. Technology, it's going to be finicky. Like it is what it is. Technology is already finicky anyway, but a lot of times it'll mess up like even more during that time, especially when you feel like it's something important that you got to get out. And it's like, no, you think it's important right now, but maybe it's not really for the moment. So it kind of, the technology does what it wants to for you to, adjust. So another big thing is they say, or most astrologers, most people tell you, don't make any big decisions during a retrograde. Now, take it for what it's worth. It doesn't mean if you're already acting on something in the process to stop that decision and don't go forward with it. It also says not to really start something new. But again, if you're already moving forward with something, that's not you stopping or doing something new, right? You're already in the process of rolling it. You just need to pay attention to those signs of technology, communication, travel, like what's happening around you type of thing. But you can make decisions. You just need to be very decisive. So remember, Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini's or fish is air, but it's it's two different fish together, right? So it can be two-sided, right? So it can make you be indecisive because you see both sides. You know what I mean? So they tell you not to make big decisions during that time if you hadn't already thought about it and kind of been through it. Not to start something brand new. So let's just say a big project came up on February 10th, right? Don't make a decision. It just came up right now. Don't make a decision. Take time to think about it, and send the communication that says, hey, I need time to think about it. Can I give you blah, blah, blah amount of time to think about it, right? So don't initially start that project right at that time because it may be foggy or unclear. You may not have the clarity that you need around it. Same thing with, making a decision on, buying a home or something like that, right? Doesn't mean that you can't buy the home. It just means that you may rush yourself into a decision that you may not like when the retrograde is over. So just remember, it's a time to think. Like think, readjust, slow down, right? Doesn't mean that you're not moving in the right direction, right? It just gives you time to think and slow down.
Okay. All right. So yeah, anything else on the retrograde? You had an eventful day yesterday too, so maybe you might talk about yesterday also.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. We did have an eventful day yesterday, right? We had a whole presidential inauguration and everything, right?
Right.
We had a change of power. All of that.
Yeah, not just a regular one either. A historical one. One that this country probably never seen before. On a couple different levels.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the obvious one. The first woman vice president. That's the obvious one. Of course, the logistical part of it too, like pretty much no audience there. No one can go,
right?
Because of COVID and because of people acting, crazy,
acting a fool.
So yeah, it's definitely historical. At least on those two levels, probably on a few others also, but those are the most obvious ones. But I saw your caption that you posted on one of your Instagram posts yesterday, and that I think that kind of spoke to the historicity of this event and what it means to you, in your journey.
Yeah, I guess so. Let me think. I mean,
do you know which one I'm talking about?
The one when I posted with Kamala's comment, and then I posted behind it. I wrote some remarks after it. Is that one or?
I think so, but it's the one where you said that about limits, and about I think you said something about limits.
Yeah, let me get on Instagram and look, because I try to post very often.
Yeah, you post a lot of things, so yeah, you
with intent and purpose. I don't just post a lot of things. Intent and purpose behind it.
Of course, yeah, they're all yeah. So yeah, I got it right here. So
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and read it. It said, yeah, that's the one where you had Kamala Harris's comment.
Okay.
It said, after the events of today, I'm reminded that there is no limit to what I can do.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have the capacity to see what you see. Sometimes they can only see the narrow path in front of them. But if you knew how powerful you really are, how infinite the possibilities are, you would boldly and bravely walk in purpose with grace.
Yeah.
That's the one that I was thinking about.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. So that was an ode to everybody. That wasn't just for women, or it wasn't to just one specific gender. It wasn't even gender typed. It was more of like, y'all got to realize, like, you hold so much more power than what you think. Kamala is the vessel I chose to use because of her. I won't say fight to the top, but being told no, you can visibly see, compare, and resonate with her story, right? Because you've been seeing it played out in the media, right? You may have done some research on her, whatever the case may be. So when I wrote that, it was because it actually took me time to get that together. I wasn't even gonna post nothing about the inauguration yesterday at all, just because I was like, everybody posting about it. It don't even much matter. You know what I'm saying? Then I found that quote that she had wrote. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I also had went to an event last Saturday with connections here in Houston. Shout out to Ja. So if you're not following Ja, go follow Ja. Connection Ja Allen. She has connections Houston. She does a vision book party. Experience. I don't want to say party, experience. And the speaker that she had, she basically said, and these are some things I had already been thinking about, but she was like, we come into a situation like this, and we only see this. Like, we can only see what's right here in front of us. We can't see left, we can't see right. Like, we can't see anything else but right here in front of us. And if we knew that what universe, God, whatever you choose to call it, sees, right, outside of these confinements that you see, right, you will realize that there was no limits. Just how people say the sky's the limit. Well, no, the sky ain't the limit, right? There is no limit. We put limitations on things. And I thought you were talking about that quote when I said limits don't exist. We put limitations on things. Because I posted that maybe a couple of days ago, or maybe last week sometime. Mm-hmm. And so when you realize that, everybody not gonna see your vision, everybody can't see where you're going, everybody ain't gonna feel the way you feel about it, they're not gonna be passionate, none of that stuff. They can't even fathom what you're talking about. Once you get over that fear of that, you literally can do whatever it is you put your mind to, whatever it is, right? And so that's what that was, like a reminder to self, like, stop limiting yourself, stop thinking that because Sally Sue over here in the market already doing what you want to do, that it ain't room for you. It's room for everybody. It's room for everybody, okay? The black dollar is 3 trillion or something. 1 point, I don't even know.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Black dollar spent, okay? That's a lot of money. And that we only talking about black dollars. Black. So what the other dollars doing? You know what I'm saying? So we really think about that and let that resonate. You wouldn't be fearful of anything. You would literally walk boldly and bravely in your purpose and not be scared of what nobody about to say, because you already know you about to come through and just get it. You know what I'm saying? I got excited. Sorry.
I mean, that's fine. This is the place to get excited. How DJ's always excited, so this is the perfect platform to be excited.
Yes.
That's the DJ line right there.
Look, I love how you clipped them pieces up last week. If you clip that little spot right there, baby, that's
I'm gonna have to do a couple of them. I'm gonna have to do this one. I'm gonna have to do Mercury Retrograde clip too, and post both of those things up there. Very, very powerful information, and you just done preached a little minute sermon, a little sermon right there. So we can go ahead and have the call to discipleship and and get the
Is
benediction.
there one? Is there one?
Yes, the hand. Gotta have the hand, you know. Gotta have the hand.
As the preacher say, I feel that there is one. So is there one? I know.
Yeah. Yeah, one who may have been limiting themselves, one who may be only seeing this and not looking beyond this, not looking in the peripheral, not looking feet, yards, miles ahead of themselves.
Yep.
Come.
Come.
Come to the
You are
altar.
welcome. You are welcome.
Absolutely. Yes. So so why don't you give us some final words, you know, go ahead and tie all this up into a nice little bow.
Okay. Yeah, so just first of all, to check in the Money Mondays, okay? Like on Money Mondays, we talking finance for real. Like, I mean, DJ the Money Coach is giving you all the tools and stuff you need. I'm just giving you basic conversation so that you can understand and then go take the steps to move forward to what you need to do, because sometimes it seems scary. I'm not scared, but I understand that people receive things on different levels. So I try to be way down here instead of being up here and not even in the middle. I'm like, are you smarter than a fifth grader type of thing? Like, you know, can a kindergartner understand it? So make sure you do that. If you caught anything from tonight, honestly, the retrograde part, don't be afraid. Walk boldly in your purpose if that's what you need to do. But just understand that you may feel some pulls of energy that may slow you down. So that intuition that we talked about, that gut feeling that we talked about before, listen to it. Like legit listen to it, because it's probably going to stop you from making a lot of different mistakes that you probably don't want to make. And then stop creating limits. I mean, like, ain't no sky's the limit. I know I said ain't no. Okay, let me rephrase. There isn't a limit in the sky. There's only the limitations you put on yourself. Limitations do not exist. Energy is infinite. Knowledge is infinite. You are infinite. You are a spiritual being having a human experience.
Well, fine. Well, if you don't want to say, you want to correct yourself and say that, say it that way. I'm gonna say with no shame, even as an English teacher, because I understand that colloquial euphemisms are not remedial, they're cultural. So there ain't no limit.
Well, I'm just saying, I just fixed it because the teacher is here, you know, because if it was just me and you know, I'd just be like, ain't no, okay? Because I feel like it resonates with you a little bit better, you know. As my daddy say, a little bit more gooder, a little bit more gooder.
Yep. So how can the people find you? You know, run through all the contacts and, you know, all that good stuff.
Man. All right. So you can find me on social media. On Instagram, Twitter, it's Miss Story. So MS_STORI. Facebook is Astoria Stubbs. I'm the only one. Of course, you know, if you go to my Instagram page, you'll find all the links to everything that I do, whether you decide you want Reiki, hairstyling, whatever. If you just want a cleansing session, clearing, all those things, you can find me on social media, for sure. And I'm just gonna say this because I thought it was really funny when I posted it. You might not have saw it, but it was on my business page. I said, some of y'all holding on to y'all dead ends, like y'all holding on to friendships and clothes y'all should have threw away in 2020. Fight me. I said what I said.
Yeah. yeah. Some people gonna feel some type of way about that. They gonna feel triggered. All of that.
If you feel triggered, then you need some healing and you need my services anyway.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. And of course you got the shop now, so they can do that in person if they're in the Houston area, or they could do it virtually.
Yep,
So
for sure.
Yeah. So there's no excuses. Go get healed.
For real. Or start the process to your healing journey, because you ain't gonna get healed overnight, right?
Oh yeah. Oh man. Well, yeah, that's real. Yeah, start the process. Yep, there you go. Yep. And then on my end, everything Seven Spheres of Money on YouTube. This is where you're watching this. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, especially if you like what you've been hearing and seeing, with the content. So definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for the notifications.
Like and share.
Oh yeah, like and share. Yeah, that's what all the content creators say these days. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications. I watch so much YouTube that they got me saying it. I'm not even on camera doing the show, and they got me saying like, share, subscribe. So I'm telling you, like, share, subscribe to Seven Spheres of Money. We're Seven Spheres of Money on Instagram, Seven Spheres of Money on Facebook also, and DJTheMoneyCoach.com. Astoria, finally, we do, you didn't mention it, but we do have a webinar coming up in November. We have the tax refund webinar. February. Yeah, you're right. You said I need to get ready for bed. Before we went on. You're right. I need to get ready for bed. I'm over here talking about
that communication. That's that communication.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, February. So next month, this month coming up, we're going to have the tax refund webinar coming up with our expert CPA, featuring that expert CPA, James Lane, alongside with DJ the Money Coach. So that information will be coming out probably within the next week. You'll start seeing that information coming out. So look out for that. Go to the website and get on the email list so you can get the first communication on that. So we got that coming up. And as always, we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind, and come join us on the beaches of the world. And Astoria, go ahead and do what you do.
All right. I just love me some Tabitha, y'all. If y'all ain't following Tabitha, y'all need to go follow Tabitha. Shameless plug, okay? Now, y'all go and have yourself the most amazing day or evening. And if you can't have an amazing day, don't you dare go mess it up nobody else's, okay? All right. Love y'all.
All right. Peace, y'all.